So I will indeed go ahead and get started. And so, welcome back. Your last mission was quite successful. Kabong is very much happy with you, and if you would like to make a major upgrades to your ship, you can. I would, however, like to recommend, it does sound like Sam might be having a little bit of an itchy trigger finger and a bit bored with the space flights. So perhaps holding off on base and ship work this week. And while I will never tell you which missions to accept, the train job does start with more shippy stuff.
I have an itchy finger.
Well, I mean, Amori probably has the itchy fingers, but you might just have the itchy trigger finger.
No, Sam's got itchy fingers, but there's a pill for that.
That's eczema, and we don't shame for disabilities. Come on, guys.
That is not what I meant at all.
Well, then some of us were too innocent to get your reference.
That's good. That's good. You keep that.
However, of your current missions, you do still have the puzzle sphere investigation. The appraiser has information and a mission for you. The train job, as I says, does start with a flight-based segment, and you would need a signal booster engine to be able to get out to where Cassandra has the mission for you. And I have added in, this is Procyon.
I
And
was on Procyon for a while.
drugs are bad, okay?
No, these were pretty good.
Oh,
I'm down
shit! Yuki! You laid on my reset button. Now I can't see anything.
I'm down
Uh, Alright, so, we're back. Let me get my
keep talking
pages
to
back
us.
open. Anyway, so, this is Procyon. This is an extended story that I'm trying out, and so it's a 3-round tournament. You will not have to do all 3 rounds in one go. You can do one round and then go off, do other missions, come back whenever you want for the second one, assuming you win round one. Well, the briefing is the first ever People's Democratic Republic gladiatorial exposition games has been announced, and undemocratic citizens of the quadrant are openly invited. Subnote: contestants must obey. Undemocratic guests must obey all orders given by DPRP officers, representatives, handlers, escorts, approved citizen visitors, and democratic citizens levels 1 through 5 of the DPRP. Failure to comply may result in the undemocratic guests' universal democratic rights being limited. Invited
Blah blah
to
blah. Do it right, or we'll shoot you.
visit our perfect democracy. Contestants will be pitted against teams from Procyon in tests of skill and martial prowess. There will be 3 stages, single elimination tournament. There will be no fatalities. Subnote: contestants must obey all orders by DPRP officers, representatives, handlers, escorts, approved citizens, and democratic citizens level 1 through 5 of the DPRP. Failure to comply may result in contestants' universal democratic freedoms being limited, and victors will advance to the next round. Champions of all 3 rounds may be invited back for the second People's Exposition, slated to be a showcase of tactical and command acumen. Subject to subsection 1716, yada 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 bullshit. Subnote: this has been democratically redacted. Subnote: if this first tournament is a success, further ventures may be approved by the Department of Athletic Security and the Department of Scholastic Security.
Why do I feel like we need a lawyer to actually rules lawyer this?
I was just say you were way too good at that.
He's got a lot of time on his hands. He works
Yeah.
nights.
Yeah,
I mean,
working nights, I have ample opportunity to just put on some music in the background, turn the brain off of any work that I have to do, and just sit there and ponder. And I'll have a little notepad at my side whenever I come up with something interesting.
And apparently to Photoshop bandoliers onto characters.
Yes, indeed, and to Photoshop bandoliers onto characters.
Which I
Bandoliers
appreciate,
or
by the way.
handoliers?
You know, I really, really tried to find some good-looking hands to put on there, but I could not get anything to look decent.
That seems fair.
Is the game still paused for everyone?
Not anymore.
What?
I mean, you're still in the menu. You should be able to go anywhere and pause. Anyway, so what is sounding like a good thought to you today? The Geminid one was you did have the appraiser looking into some pricing for a couple of things that you liberated from Tassandros' office. And on a related note, you did also, I forgot to mention last time around, receive 1,100 credits from your hacking of Kabong's computer from way back in the day when you first met him. So I went and dropped that in with your item drop container, along with the Kabong's winnings of 2986. So you got some spending cash to throw around whenever you so choose.
Look, I'm with Sam. Let's just go kill some fucks.
I'm not sure where I got pinned on that, but I'm down.
You and the itchy fingers, you know.
I am extrapolating from based on what Sam said a couple of weeks ago just in the Discord.
What was that? Because I have a hard time remembering yesterday, bud.
The conversation ended asking about pets. But I was kind of getting a you're a little bored with space combat feel from it.
You weren't totally wrong.
Do not give Sam an in-game pet. We will never be able to lose it.
He's just trying to keep my interest.
Do not give her an in-game pet.
We still had Moopsy. Or is that a different game?
That was Star Trek,
Yes, that was the previous campaign that we did.
and I kept trying to space it.
You and me
dog
both.
too, then?
The Moopsie was a benevolent god. He let me keep my bones, and he saved our ass at least once, if not more.
See?
And then he got an evil clone, which is
Look.
somehow more evil than a Moopsie.
Look, y'all didn't try to get bred by the Moopsy. I don't want to hear it.
What? Oh, I
No,
forgot about that.
he just wanted a hug. He wasn't trying to breed. He just wanted a hug. He hadn't seen
No.
another Moopsie in ages. He'd been stuck in his terrarium.
You wanted me to think he was trying to breed.
Yes.
Pervert.
But it is not my fault you assumed that from the way the Moopsie was acting.
Basic biology, dude. Basic biology.
It was pretty basic of me, I admit.
I almost failed biology because I kept trying to sweet talk the teacher. She was lonely.
Please tell me this was college.
No.
Worked as well as you'd expect, apparently.
Yeah. She straight up told a group of high schoolers that she would be available for questions every night from 5 to 10 on instant messaging.
The
Every
fuck?
night.
Oh no.
That's totally against district guidelines.
I mean, back in the
not-
early
yeah.
aughties?
Not 25 years ago.
The district has never allowed employees to engage with students through those type of channels.
I'm just saying, she apparently had no social life whatsoever. So yeah, I tried to sweet talk her a couple times. She had more respect for herself than that, which is good.
That's to be you.
I got over it.
Yeah, see, he
He's
ultimately was
a
a good,
preteen.
good
It
Mormon.
happens.
So,
Also, she let me into her chemistry class the next year, so it couldn't have been that bad for her.
Yeah.
so what mission do you feel like? We have a vote for Procyon.
All right, hang on. Let's see. Yeah, let's do. I vote for the tournament. Let's go do that.
No in-game pets there.
Unless you can't people, but that's just a whole different level of pet.
I'm a rat.
Not what I meant.
No
I'm
kink shaming.
Somebody could be into that.
Could very well be. And again, there would be no slut shaming.
I'm a dude in this campaign.
And
Can't be slut shamed.
oh, trust me, dudes can be slut shamed.
Yeah.
It just doesn't take. It takes a little more. We'll say that.
I've never seen it happen.
You're not a dude.
Trust all of us. It happens fairly regular. It
What?
just takes either a little bit more work or a couple other slight factors, but very possible.
Very
What
possible.
level of boredom does a dude have to rise to be slut shamed?
It depends. It's very, very circumstantial. It's not just it is not just a one
No.
size fits all kind of situation, but it does happen.
I hear giggling.
That's not on our end.
Not on my end.
That's my wife.
Oh, okay.
Is she listening to our conversation?
Probably.
Oh, God, no.
All right, so if it is going to be Procyon, then we will need a team name that you will register under and which section of the quadrant that you will be claiming to be from. The message you receive is, "Thank you for entering the First People's Democratic Republic Gladiatorial Exposition Games. Upon entering Procyon territory, you will be expected to receive a supervisor who will pilot your ship into dock and lead you to the exposition arena. Compliance with all orders is required for a safe and secure exposition. Good luck." Your rewards for winning will be 2,500 credits and 3,200 experience. Victors of all rounds will receive the Certificate of Democratic Participation.
Yeah, but now we gotta be boarded. Not a fan.
Don't mind the boarding, mind that having to be piloted, but the Navy does this all the time entering foreign ports, so it's not nothing I'm not used to.
And I am a big
And
fan
look at it
of...
this way, we honestly don't have anything illegal as cargo right now.
I don't know, that handelier could give us away.
That's just a trophy unless they actually start running DNA.
I mean, they've all been criminals largely.
Yeah, I think that one's probably going to fall under the, all of you undemocratic people are weird to them.
Yeah, they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
While we're traveling to Procyon, little exposition. The Democratic People's Republic of Procyon, the Hermit Democracy. After Emperor Kotozakura's 3-year war against the entire quadrant nearly a century ago, Procyon sealed themselves off from everyone, fortified their gate network nodes, and went silent before launching a 7-year offensive against Free Space Alliance, whom they still consider to be rebels, some 40 years ago, culminating in the destruction of Node 4247, severing the network between Procyon and Free Space, and making large-scale assaults impossible. It has only been with the passage of the People's Democratic Right to Quadrant Exposure Act of Democratic Year 291, last year, that opened new trade routes and new dialogue between quadrant powers. Little is known about Procyon, especially among citizens outside the Hermit Democracy, and what is remembered is now decades and centuries out of date.
Have you ever considered knitting? I hear it's really good for your time and, tactile.
I do Photoshop. That is very good manipulation of small tactile things like mice and keyboard.
I can teach you to knit, just saying. Knit or crochet, your choice.
You know, it probably wouldn't take me too much to remember how to do either, because at one point I did, in fact, learn both.
Huh?
And the only houseware-related thing that I managed to retain is how to sew, and I'm actually pretty damn good at that.
That can be handy.
So, what team name would you like to compete under? Your spoofed transponder is Gone Fishing. Just as a random name that's currently out there in the world.
Deep sea
I'm
danglers.
fine with that.
No?
Know what?
I said deep sea danglers.
Nah. You've got two people with negative charismas. That's never gonna work.
I mean, mine's
It'd be
just
deep sea leviathans. I was thinking Team Asshat would work good for us.
Tentacles ahoy.
typical man.
Team Kraken.
Spelt apostrophe at the end.
Kraken.
Did you say Kraken or Calkin?
Yes. What do you think the tentacles look like? I'm not a great artist, okay?
Alright, so, Kraken seem to have gotten the most laughs.
I'm down for whatever.
We know.
And what corner of the quadrant would you like to claim to be from? Would you like to be from the Rebel Free Space Alliance, the Imperials of Bekwan, or the magic users of Geminid?
Let's say Imperials. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Say
Didn't we
what's the
start in Buck One?
You did, yes.
So that's not a bad thing to just be like, yeah, we're from this one. I think Freelance may be our most not liked group right now.
We do get pissing them off.
Yeah. Yeah. It's looking fun over there. Alright, so, Team Kraken then.
Kraken.
As you arrive at the Democratic People's Republic of Procyon security checkpoint, you cannot see anything. Whoops.
Well, they held it in it.
I didn't think they were that into secrecy, but okay.
Okay, get out of my way so that I can grab the ship, please. Alright, yes, they are very into secrecy, but not that into secrecy. There we go. As you jump out of the gate, you find yourself absolutely surrounded by security vehicles, and you receive a message over the comms. Undemocratic vessel. Power down all systems, except for communications, and prepare to receive your escort. Do you comply?
Of course we do.
Alright. As you...
This is the only time I might say that.
As you power down your ship, you receive this fine-looking gentleman who walks onto your ship, puts his fist across his chest, and then gives you what we would on Earth call a Roman salute. Hail democracy! Welcome to the Democratic People's Republic of Procyon. I will be taking you into the gladiatory waiting area.
Okay.
You look at
Aye,
this
aye.
guy, and you see ample amounts of decoration on him, most prominent of which is a gigantic number 3 on his chest. Your limited knowledge of the DPRP is that they divide their society into supposedly 15 levels of citizenship, though practically speaking, only 10 are actually in use. And this man appears to be a citizen level 3.
Is that high or low? I'm guessing high.
That is high.
Okay.
He pilots your ship in and takes you into a waiting area, guiding you into this facility. As you walk in, you see a few other contestants from around the quadrant, as
Oh, wow.
well as a few people. There are 3 up in this corner here, and 1 staring at the hologram in the center, showing the current arena. And you notice all of them, instead of wearing coats with their number, all of them have collars on. A quick glance,
Slaves!
a quick glance has 10 on all of them. As your escort guides you to a seating area, he says, "You may speak with any of your fellow contestants. You will be called when your time for the combat is nearing. Do not address any officers of the DPRP unless spoken to. Do I make myself clear?"
Jawohl, my friend.
Hail democracy! As he walks off, he goes through a locked door on the far side. And y'all have a few minutes before your first combat if you would like to speak to any of your fellow contestants. You have one guy up above you, you have a few off to the right, a few other quadrant denizens down in the bottom right-hand corner, and the 4 extremely square portraits are the DPRP contestants. I should have hover over available for most of them.
I'm noticing a name that looks like it could be a bit of an issue. I think I've got his brother in his hands.
That's us.
I don't know if Diego had a Guillermo as a sibling, but Deloro.
It should indeed sound familiar.
We're just gonna leave that guy alone.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Just as a reminder of that very brief railroading that I did to you a couple of weeks back, he never actually saw you. All of you were outside in your ships. You never got close enough to each other to stare through each other's cockpits. And, well, he talked to Alex for a few minutes before Alex cut him off and basically told him to go away, kick dirt, kick space dust.
Eat a dirt.
So he would
Why'd you
not.
start with a few other people, Alex?
Yes, he would not recognize you.
But would he recognize his brother's hands dangling down my chest?
Maybe just adjust the handlers so they're not showing quite so much.
They're such good hands. They're
No.
10.
Who's really going to recognize their own siblings' hands?
I mean, if
That
there
depends
was
how close they are.
Oh my. Not where I was going to go with that statement.
That's what their father said.
Anywho, carry on. I will give you until, I'll give you 5 minutes to do some talking with people before we begin combat. This is your 5-minute warning for Team Kraken from Bakwan Dynasty.
Okay. I'm sorry, Brian. I have no interest in talking.
Okay,
to
not
people.
going to take the opportunity. Very well. Then we head off into the gladiatorial arena. As you walk in through the gates, you look around, and this massive stadium is absolutely full. You can see several people in similar uniforms to the high ranking citizens, and many people with the lower class collars, as well as undemocratic visitors who lack both. But nonetheless, they are all cheering in this beautiful, ancient looking stadium that, as you walk past, you notice is very, very newly built.
Get out.
And everybody has vision, so good start. At the front of the stadium, a man steps forward and says, "Citizens of the Quadrants, welcome to the first gladiatorial exposition. We will open today's ceremony with a message from our president. All rise." Everybody in the stadium stands up. The undemocratic guests look a little bit confused as a gigantic hologram bigger than the entire arena fills the center. "My fellow democratic Republicans and undemocratic visitors, welcome to our great and perfect democracy, and the first Quadrant Exposition. It is with great pleasure that I hereby open these free and fair games in the name of the people. Winners of this 3-round tournament will be invited back for future exposition games and will receive the Presidential Certificate of Democratic Participation. Good luck to all, and may the best beings win. Hail democracy! Hail democracy! Hail democracy! Echoing around the room.
Okay, that bit about full and fair games kind of has me concerned. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep.
Everybody, please roll for initiative.
Yeah, very much concerned about that one.
And it would also help if I had everybody's character sheets pulled up. Sorry, Yuki reloading my game there. Slowed me down a sec. Boom, boom, and boom.
Oh, damn. And Maury got a crit?
All right. Imori did indeed, and Imori will indeed be going first. So, while I have randomly placed you, please go ahead and pick any starting position behind. Whoops.
Okay.
That line, please.
Are these weapons on the ground available?
Or did we bring our own stuff?
You brought your own stuff. The weapons are indeed on the ground. A quick look around makes it look like there were lower level fights that were sort of the warm up before these official beginnings of the games. All of them look very weak, very first level.
Okay.
And we will indeed start with Imori.
Okay. How far can I even go?
Which reminds me, did I... Oh, that's a little larger than I actually anticipated. Hold on, let me
Are we all on hover discs?
The tokens I just kind of, I did that so that you are more obvious in the scene.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm going to lower this grid just a little bit to bring you a little bit closer.
To be fair, 3D movement on a 2D space is really annoying.
Yeah, 120 feet. Okay, that's a little bit better.
Oh, that's a whole lot easier to reach. Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, practically speaking, 180 feet even is still small for a stadium, but practicalities.
All right, well, don't have a whole lot I can do outside of getting up into melee range. Are there things that would be at least 3 bulk sitting around on the floor?
Looking around, you do see a few shields that appear to be quite heavy that you could probably throw.
Beautiful.
Are you gonna go
Alright.
cap?
We might be going a little cap. Alright, so we'll move 30 feet forward. We'll pick up a nice heavy shield. And you're closest to me, so you're gonna get shielded. That's okay. I'll allow it.
And the shield flies over his head. He looks past and says, "Holy democracy!" Turns back at you looking a little bit wide-eyed and scared.
Kind of want to start yelling shit about socialism just to fuck with them, but I feel like I get sniped.
That might not be safe.
That's what I'm saying. It's just
As you look up into the crowds, behind the guy that opened, you see guard. There's a guard up on that stair, guard up on that stairwell, guard up on that stairwell. Yeah, this democracy is very secure. First up
there's
for the Procyon guys.
the other angle here that they've opened it up to outsiders so we can slaughter them and prove to their citizens that outside isn't safe.
Well, these are exposition games. There will be no death. Asterisk.
Yeah, asterisk.
yeah, but medical equipment can be a little touchy sometimes.
This guy is going to take a run at Sam.
Many have tried.
And is going to shoot her with an arc pistol.
Us included, honestly.
And that will be going against your EAC. Which actually misses now that I'm looking at yours. Okay, trying not to sneeze right into the mic.
20.
Good luck with that.
20, it misses.
It's alright. So that misses. He is then going to take a knee to steady his balance, and we move on to Red.
All right, I'm gonna get in the prone position and start firing because I has a rifle and don't like being shot at.
It's alright, your prone position will make you more difficult to hit at range, so I will be rolling with disadvantage against you should anybody take a shot.
And then I will target this guy. Ah. And attack normal.
Alright. And that is well hit. And let's see, what kind of armor did I put on her? Just standard, nothing special. Alright, go ahead and roll your damage. And 8 penetrating through, so nothing on the armor there. Alright. With that blast, you notice that she appears to be very weakly armored. To say nothing that was penetrating, or a piercing round anyway, but it was really obvious. Her armor's paper thin. Which
Just
brings
like her face.
Which brings us to the woman that was just shot. And she is going to come up next to the guy that was ducking Cap's shield here. And she is going to attempt to use an arc pistol on Imori. With
That's a negative, Ghost
yeah,
Rider.
with as much success as her earlier compatriots. Sam.
Unharmed, that's an enemy, right?
Yes, and why do you say that? You are a DPRP contestant. Hovered by anyone. Okay, there you go. You should now have view of everybody. Yes, unharmed means that he still has all of his hit points.
No, none of those are gonna count. Come on.
Very nice. That will make it through. You may roll damage. And that was 12 fire. Ooh. All right, let's see. That first goes. All right, this guy that you just shot, you notice is not wearing armor at all.
Oops.
Dumbass.
Huh?
And so that goes straight to his hit points.
Not you.
Yeah, the guy that's not wearing armor in combat.
In a gladiatorial tournament.
You do, however, notice on his back that he attempts to protect using his own body what appears to be jump jets.
Oh, so he had to be light.
Interesting.
Which brings us to Mullet Man here.
Mullet Man. Terrible superhero. Big hit with the southern gentleman, though.
And he is going to rush at Imori. And is going to swing a baton at him.
They really didn't like these guys.
His baton shatters. He looks at the broken bat in his hand. He looks up at Amori and he kind of gives you a, eh?
Real shame, kid.
We are on,
Parlay?
we are on to Drix. And yes, all of these all have a level 10 collar around them. You may be suspecting that these guys are what is colloquially known as cannon fodder.
I'm a saunter. And I do mean saunter. I am not worried. Ooh, I forgot about you. Bless you.
That was a cough.
I know.
And that is definitely going to hit. And for 5 sonic damage, that will be debilitating. And he is... let's see, where is it? Yeah, what the hell, I'll call it stunned.
Okay. Sam, everybody who gets downed here, I want you to bite them so you can be the fangs of the Kraken.
Well,
and your legend shall spread.
I guess if my little jumpsuit dude doesn't take off.
Which brings us to the guy all the way at the back, who appears to be a little more confident as he raises a railgun at you.
Woo! Dibs.
And he takes aim. Since Imori is blocked by his fellow Democrat, he is going to fire at Drix. And against your KAC, that's going to miss. The beam passes you, and the guy sighs. Back to Imori.
What would you say the bulk of the guy in front of me would be?
Is there a weight equivalent to bulk? Oh, there's my other notes. Bulk 167. Doesn't have a weight equivalent. I am going to say that maybe about what the hell? He's your max. He is exactly your maximum. Nobody else except for your strength level could possibly throw him. You would need a what is that, bulk 5 to be able to do so.
Strength modifier +2, so bulk 7.
So bulk 7. Okay, so yes, 7 then will be the weight of a human. So let it be written.
Beautiful. Well then, since he has so kindly brought himself within range, I would like to yeet his ass towards the lady back there.
All right. Go ahead and make your roll.
Why are you throwing him farther away if I'm trying to bite him?
No,
Oh,
I'm throwing the one that's in my grill.
Yeah, he's going for this guy. Let's see if this guy is capable of wiggling out of your hands before you do that. And he is not able to, and he cannot resist being picked up by you and being thrown. Go ahead and roll unarmed damage for that. And yoink, thump. She.
And then I would like to follow him up, sauntering.
Very nice. Let's see. I forgot to add that in, so that's. So minus 12 is. Alright. That did get absorbed by the paper thin armor. And they are both now lying on the ground. You hear the guy that you just throw. Oh, man, that. What in democracy was that?
A real man.
Which brings us back to the guy that Alex and Sam were looking at, and he is going to shake off his stun and attempt to shoot at Alex with his arc pistol. I'm rolling.
I hold up my hand and
tonight.
I hold up my hand and say, I vote against you doing that.
You hear that get boomed around the stadium by shotgun mics. The stadium goes wild. You hear laughter from some of the Procyon people, cheering from the Bakwanese. And we are back to red.
Okay. I don't like the idea of this guy having a big gun. So I'm just going to shoot his ass.
Alrighty. And 24, that will make it through. And 10 piercing. You do notice that his armor appears to be made of stronger stuff, but your piercing rounds still goes through it like hot knife through butter.
Okay. So he's the group tank with the heavy weapon.
Hmm.
I'm done. I'm staying in my nice little. I'll take a few seconds, scoop some sand in front of myself, make myself a little berm.
It is now this lady's turn, and she is going to stagger back to her feet, and as she stands, she's going to take a swing at Amori. Hi, Moogie. Thank you for not sitting on the keyboard. Is going to take a swing at Amori with her baton, and pray it works better than her friend.
It won't.
That'll hit.
She makes contact for very, very little.
Well, it didn't break.
You hear a small cheer go up from the Procyon crowd. I finally got a hit in. And she then cannot do anything else. Sam.
Dude. I'm gonna run and jump on him and try to bite him.
Alrighty.
Bangs of the Kraken!
As you do so, please start with an acrobatics roll, please.
What's my moxie again? Tumble through space of an opponent, at least one side. That does not count. Well,
Alright. With decent success and with a little bit of showmanship, you jump up on him, so go ahead and make your attack roll for your bites.
what we put that under?
Oh, what did we put that under? Did we not put it under there? I know it exists.
Because I had that weird fangs thing too, Ring of Fang.
Yeah, let me search equipment here.
It's rating your teeth long and short.
Really? Who's author, skill, focus, bounty hunter?
It looks like an unarmed strike.
Okay, yep.
I think it was an unarmed strike, and you rigged it so it added damage, I believe.
Flanking, fight defensively. What's this one? Boss. Nope, none of those apply. Normal.
Alright. That will penetrate his KAC. So go ahead and roll the unarmed damage then, or unarmed strike then. Or the damage for it, I mean. And 4, 5. He is still there, but you two are going to be grappled.
Yep.
No.
Boom.
Yeah.
And we are back to other guy on the ground. And he is likewise going to stand up and at point blank range try and hit you with, hit Locke with his arc pistol. Are my dice broken? I think I've had 5 5s now.
You have had a fair number of 5 tonight.
Playing with
That is
what?
one of the bad things about digital dice is you can't put them in timeout.
You remember I started a force. I had an off night, right?
Indeed. Well, the dice gods say I'm playing with loaded dice tonight, and the load is 5. So he shoots off, and the tase bullet whizzes past, and he just kind of looks at his gun and goes, "What was all that training for?"
I look at him. You guys got training?
The guy that's close to Alex just kind of looks at it and says, you guys, I mean, is that normal outside?
I'm an accountant.
Huh. Man, we've been going through military training since we were kids.
You might need more funding.
It is now Alex's turn.
I'm gonna get shot.
You hear chuckling from amongst the crowd. And the guy that's standing in the observation box just ahead of you has a pensive look to him. Hi, Moogie.
Well, that missed.
That it did, yes.
Considering we're like not supposed to be talking to any of them, aren't we not?
They are fellow contestants, so you were indeed free to talk to them.
Also,
okay.
you're not
You
gonna
simply,
stop me
They're not
you
talking
simply
shit.
chose not to.
Yeah, you're not gonna stop me talking shit in the middle of a fight. Let's
Exactly.
be real.
This is what we expect, of course. All right.
And I'm just saying, whiffing that one adds to my accountant story.
It is certainly more believable now.
You see her? She sells cars. That guy over there, he's a garbage man.
The guy right in front of you is looking battered and bruised, and he goes, "Really? Wow.
Why do you think I throw everything?
Exactly. You should see him hurl a can. It goes even farther than your friend did.
Truly, our training does need a little bit more to it." And the big tank in back, he hears that and turns his sights to Sam and the guy that just said maybe we do need more, and is going to just aim at either of them. He doesn't give a fuck. On a hit, he is going to hit Sam. On a miss, he is going to hit his teammate. He doesn't care which.
Harsh.
He will, however,
Yeah.
be hitting Sam.
Will he now? No, I mean, will he? The dice hate you tonight.
He rolled a 29. He's hitting.
Yeah, that was the 29 against KAC, and Sam's
That's
is less than that.
Oh.
Where did I close Sam's page? There we go. Yeah, your case, he is 20, so the 29 did indeed make it through for 7 on your stamina. As that would... Oh, wait, I'm sorry, that is piercing, so that goes direct against your hit points.
13.
Correct.
Nice for math.
Which brings us back to Imori.
Okay. I'm going to draw my sword and say, I think this is how I use this stick.
Just pretend it's recycle day.
And... let me double check that.
And he's an unbroken down box.
Yep, both... That does indeed just barely miss, and you swing right next to him, and the crowd goes wild, thinking that you struck an excellent blow. And as the dust clears, you see the sword sticking slightly just beside him in the dirt.
Nice intimidation.
And the crowd once again goes wild. Handyman! Handyman! Handyman!
Oh god, he's got a legend now.
Which takes us back up to this guy who just had a bullet whiz past his ear. He's going to step just to the side and try and smack Sam.
I've tried that. It didn't work out.
And nope, didn't work out for him either. You hear some booing from the crowds. The Procyonites have clearly turned against this dude. Back to Red.
He's wasting government taxes. That's why. All right. Well, I'm just going to keep shooting at the tank because
It's alrighty. Ow, ow, ow. Moogie, that... Thank you.
I'm really not worried about Amori. He's doing great.
And that one... Oh, Moogie, please. That one actually just barely makes it. You see his armor spark and your bullet go through. Roll for damage. And another 12 against him. And this guy is now definitely hurting. And onto this contestant. She is going to attempt to flank Imori here. And once again, attempt to stun him with the arc pistol.
Will hit.
Ah, finally. And that'll be 2 against your stamina, and... Okay, thank you for moving. Why do I... One of these days I will remember exactly how the stun works. I think it's just shaken for 1 turn. 182. Let's see, set to stun, all attacks are non-lethal, that's right, okay. So it was never going to happen. So yeah, you will just be rolling at disadvantage next turn, and that's it. Which takes us over to Sam.
Is he actively holding on to me since he just tried to swap me off?
He did disengage from you, but he is still right next to both of you. He was not able to get far. He used his move action to do so.
Drix. Where's everyone else in the ring?
Yeah, Drix is still on your team.
Please don't shoot Drix.
Oh, no. I'm just looking at who the other people are.
Yes,
Wow.
your characters are the very bright tokens. In fact, John's in the crowd over on the right-hand side. Hi, John.
I'm just trying to jump on him in a place where he is now a shield between me and the other people.
I mean, we can take this offline.
I'm assuming another acrobatics check.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
He would be.
Biting, isn't off the table.
And you do quite well. Let's see if he is able to do anything about that. And while you two are grappled, you both remain standing. You are just kind of doing this very awkward, scratchy hug.
I would say standing. I jumped on him.
Okay, well, you are smaller than him, so if you would like to actually be on him, then very well. The crowd cheers as you start climbing him, and they start chanting, "Hail democracy! Hail democracy! Hail democracy!"
Does that count as flanking since Drix is there by chance?
That's a valid question.
I'll allow it.
Hey. Check the books.
However,
Rude.
while you have attained a new cat tower, or rat tower, I suppose, you do not bite him this time.
Yeah, I'm just going to continue clinging on to him.
All right, there are Klingons on the starboard bow. And our contestant down here, he looks around and he scrabbles on the ground looking for one of the discarded weapons on the ground. And son of a bitch, it closed.
A little animated Hercules moment. I just need to find a weapon. As if
Yes, exactly. However, unlike Hercules, he actually manages to pull up a longsword, level 1. Which is probably not going to do much, but he makes a swing at Imori with it. That is...
Did you take the longsword off of my character sheet?
No, I actually went into the equipment list. Do you still have the longsword on your equipment sheet?
No, mine disappeared.
What?
Damn it, Brian! Now you're taking our gear.
It wasn't me, though. Was it a standard longsword?
I believe it was. Yes, it was. I've added one back.
Okay. So, alright, well, his attempt at the longsword, I have no idea what the hell happened there with that. But his longsword, he swings up at you, and it just clanks against your armor. And the crowd laughs. Handyman! Handyman!
That was cute.
Back to Drix.
I think
All right.
you should get advantage since there's a rat hanging off of him now.
I'm gonna let you finish mauling him.
Fine.
I'm not gonna get between you and your new chew toy.
Probably smart.
What does this button do?
It does hit him, and you see him stagger. You may roll for damage. 9
Is it
and
supposed to be that loud?
9 and piercing, and this guy goes down to one knee. And he raises his railgun at Drix. And that is against your KAC. That will hit.
Aw.
4-9 piercing. So that goes straight through your stamina and onto your hit points.
My computer is chugging. I think I need to turn something off. Okay, so -9 hit points.
Yes, indeed. And from that, we are back to lock.
All right, and I am going to swing. I believe I have disadvantage for the flat-footed, and I'm just going to try to take out Miss
That
Lady here. Oh,
disadvantage did
I
not
think I
matter
hit.
in the least, and it hit.
Oh, if you
And-
hold Alt, it shows everybody's box and title and...
Oh, cool. Apparently, some of my crowd is already mostly dead.
Yep.
A good number.
Yeah, well, that's the funny thing about reusing my cast of thousands. So,
It's budget friendly, okay?
it's a hell of a lot easier than loading in new crowd scenes every time. Anyway, so that was 11. All right, so whatever armor she had left is now gone. And that is 2 more into her hit points. She is now bleeding.
Okay, so out of character... Well, okay, out of lore-wise,
Yep.
do we know how many parties these guys have to vote for?
The current president did win with 102% of the vote.
Okay.
102%.
And so any party per se is somewhat negligible because the ruling party is just that popular.
Ooh.
Quote unquote.
Sam, don't be surprised. Putin once pulled 115%.
Yeah,
Jeez.
this DPRP is basically a cross between North Korea, Russia, sprinkling in of the worst potential way America could go, plus a little bit of Helldivers.
A little bit?
A little bit.
To the man who's been screaming democracy with every sentence?
It was also intentionally over the top on everything being democratic. Every act this state has ever passed is the people's democratic right to insert act here.
I feel like that could be a title in its own. The People's Democratic Right to Insert Act.
Yes, and your further lore-based knowledge would be that all of their government departments are named Department of Homeland Security, Department of Scholastic Security, Department of this security, Department of that security.
See, I thought you were going to go for Ministry of Truth, Ministry of Law, Ministry...
No, that
Is
would
there
have
a
been straight
Department
up.
of Security?
Ministry of Security.
I like it. They may have to found one with a People's Democratic Right to Security Act. Yes, just for a moment, I will do a quick second of lore dump that since you avoided the social encounter, The Universal Democratic Rights was established by the People's Universal Democratic Rights Act of Democratic Year 1, with such vital rights such as the right to free and democratic voting, freedom of a democratic press, freedom of democratic assembly, the right to democratic arms control, the right to democratic search and seizure, the right to speedy democratic trial and execution, the right to equal democratic mobility, which established the levels 1 through 15, and the right to freedom from religion. Major acts that have been passed: People's Democratic Rights to Quadrant Exposure Act of DY 291 last year, the People's Democratic Rights to Quadrant Exposition Act of DY 292 this year, the People's Democratic Right to Union Act of DY 255, which started the Free Space War 37 years ago.
Jesus, you have too much time on your hands.
Notepads at work. That is all. Point being, everybody buys into all of this democratic patriotism bullshit, and they are very into it. So, short story long, that answers your question, yes?
Yeah, no, it really does.
Anyway, so, from Imori, we are now back to the guy that is struggling with Sam, and he is going to just attempt to... Actually, Sam, make a... Let's see. Make a perception check, please.
Oh, damn.
All right. You do not notice as he reaches for a button next to him. Please now roll an athletics check.
Oh, shit.
Athletics or acrobatics?
Athletics, please.
And you aced the fuck out of it.
And yes, he is. And the both of you go screaming into the air as you both are lifted up by his jump pack. And he is going to smack you with the baton and try and dislodge you.
Well, Sam, yet another man is dissatisfied with your writing skills.
And he tapped you hard.
Why did my AC drop? It was 20.
This system is fucky today.
I'm so weird, or I'm so confused.
It's not because I increased your height, is it?
My height?
It's the grappled.
Ah,
okay.
okay, that makes sense. All right, then you are 30 feet in the air, and you just got smacked for 8. That will go against your stamina. However, now I need you to please attempt to hold on. And I'm going to call this a survival check because you'll otherwise fall 30 feet.
Lock your ankles.
It's wisdom? That is so weird. Okay.
That is actually pretty weird.
Holy shit.
And Sam lucks out and stays holding on despite taking a big stick right to the face.
See, I told you gotta lock your ankles.
Just to the face.
And we are on to Red again.
Lock her ankles, wrap her tail around him. She's got methods.
Get that child
Alright.
support, Sam.
I'm bruised. I yell out, I'm not sure if my target can take another shot.
You can always just say that you are going to make a non-lethal, and that is preferred in this contest. So any of your attacks can be called as non-lethal. You're just like kneecapping him instead of debraining him.
Okay, we can go for that.
And that will get through his AC. Go ahead and roll for damage.
See, the personal trainer can only estimate how well he's doing.
And you see this guy collapse as you take his kneecaps out. And he falls to the ground. Back to the two that are attempting to tag team Amori. And is gonna swing her bat at him. And it shatters. And the crowd goes wild once again. Handyman! And Sam, you are currently 30 feet up in the air with a man using a jump pack.
Well, I guess if he just hit me in the face. I'm wondering how he hit me in the face when I'm on his back.
Just reach behind him. He's got
Well,
long arms.
I'm gonna just bite the back of his neck as hard as I can.
Look, right now you're just
Kinky.
lucky your tail isn't getting roasted by his rockets.
Right.
Which means Brian didn't think of it until just now.
Yeah, for some
I
reason I,
mean-
thought you were on his front, but anyway.
Tail-wise, it would be wrapped around him for stability.
Hot.
Good point. That is very Rodentia.
Well, that's what rats do. Okay.
All right, ready, McRackface, let's go.
I swear he just called her Crackface, and it works.
Flanking him anymore.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a rear attack.
I mean, yeah, you're not flanking; you're kind of smothering at this point.
Yeah, I know. I was just looking at what the other choices were I could potentially.
I'm afraid with a roll like that, you're just kind of giving him a nice massage.
He is uncomfortable.
Well, see, you're not the only one rolling poorly.
He is
Bum, bum,
mildly
bum, bum, bum,
confused.
What do you want? She sells cars.
All right. Mullet Man still has his stun pistol, and he is going to jab it right into Locke's side and pull the trigger. And
It does hit.
And this time it is for 6. And so you will again remain stunned for your next round. Not that I'm sure you overly mind hanging out with these two.
Nope, I have meat shield. That's my sole purpose in life.
And so we are back to Drix again. Your primary target is down, and he is out of the contest.
Okay, so railgun guy's down and out.
Correct.
Okay. And the girl and the guy down here are both safe. Okay, this
And-
guy just took a chunk out of Emory. I'm.
Yep.
They're doing their own thing. I'm gonna let them.
They're floating up in the air.
This might get me shot by the authorities, but fuck it. Be like, hey, I'm starting a adult entertainment company called the People's Right to Lascivious Procreation. Fuck. You want a job?
And all of the residents of the rest of the quadrant all bust up laughing, and the Procyons all look a little bit confused. The woman looks at you and says, "Don't you need a form for that?"
I filled out in triplicate.
Oh,
It's under the Department of Population Security.
that's pretty impressive doing it in triplicate.
You should see me with my left hand. Oh, I'm re-rolling that. Oh, hell no.
She really wanted your left hand.
Oh dear.
Hi, sweetie. Better, but still a whiff.
And you smack her across the face. She turns back and has a little bit of a bloody lip. She licks her lips and says, my husband hits harder.
He actually likes you.
And he is out of the contest, so let's go ahead and remove him. Which takes us back to Imori.
And I will swing a sword at her as well.
Lascivious procreation. That's what I was trying to fucking say.
And once again, the sword comes down and gives her a little bit of a grazing blow, but she deftly steps out of the way. Back to the air. And this guy, his jump pack stops. You both fall.
About to say, is it made for that much weight? Cause
It is not. And in fact, it stops basically at the end of his movement. So he was actually supposed to end his turn on the ground. But
you forgot.
actually, no. I actually considered it, and I was like, you know what? I'll stay up, and nobody likes this guy anyway. So both of you are going to be falling, and both will be receiving fall damage, which is just unarmed strike damage. Why don't I have an unarmed strike on this guy? Man, I did not.
Because you didn't expect to need it.
Hopefully that didn't steal it from anybody by taking it out of the book this time.
I don't know, Locke. You still got your unarmed?
I've still got my unarmed strike.
All right, Sam, you and I both take 1 damage to our health.
For a 30-foot fall, that's pretty damn good.
That is actually pretty dang lucky.
To the hit point?
To hit points, yes.
She took that whole float like a butterfly thing seriously.
I lost some stamina, but it's back up to 24 now.
I'm at half health. Fuck you.
Are you clicking on your token or working off your character sheet? Because sometimes that can do that.
All of it off my character sheet. Do we remember how much stamina I lost?
In all fairness, it's probably not going to matter ultimately.
Okay.
We'll look into that before next time when you will be going against stronger opponents. These ones were supposed to be your peers, but
Gotcha.
numbers. All right, and there we go. So you are both now lying on the ground.
Am I still hanging on to him?
Go ahead and make an acrobatics check to see if you hold on. This will be a difficulty 25 to hold on with that fall. You do manage to stay close to him, but you are unable to hang on.
Whatever. I'm just gonna bite him if I'm close to him. Or attempt to bite him.
Maeve.
All right.
Hey, I haven't rolled for trying to bite him yet.
It wasn't your turn. It was his
Oh, I
turn.
thought. Gotcha. All right.
And instead of attacking you, he ran out of jump juice.
So I'm going back to shooting my first target.
So, all right.
Again, below the belt to not kill.
Mhm. And that actually makes it through her paper thin armor. And 12. And she is down. She falls to the ground. And she holds up her hand in surrender. And shields. Holds her leg as starts bleeding, and crowd once again goes wild. Kraken! 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 Ooh, they're even shooting off fireworks in my neighborhood for you. Congratulations.
Wait, what the hell is June 7th?
It's the reservation. It's always
It's also,
fireworks.
Yeah.
also Pride
Fair.
Month.
Okay, Pride Month doesn't usually get fireworks.
Yeah, I can't say that's a normal thing for what I've seen. Sam, your turn.
Am I laying close enough to bite him?
Yes, if you would like to stay on the ground, and if you want to bite him again, certainly.
Yeah, but if I stand up, then I can't bite him.
You wouldn't be able to move, but you would still be able to attack.
Fine. Stand up and bite him.
You sound so disappointed.
I'm just telling you what the rules are. Your movement phase is stand up if you would like to. However, your bite misses. You stand up and you gnash your teeth at him.
Great
Good
big nasty teeth.
It's a marvelous performance. And we are on to Mullet Man, who, realizing he isn't doing a whole hell of a lot against Imori, is going to try and make a run at Drix to see if he can do anything before he knows he inevitably gets his ass handed to him. And shoot Alex with the arc pistol. And against your KAC, that does hit. Not for much, but you are stunned, so you won't be able to move next turn.
That's okay. He's on me.
Which brings us to Drix. And by the time we get back to Imori, that's going to be gone. Just so I don't
Hey!
forget.
Okay, now I'm gonna go full audit on your ass.
Enjoy the tax rebate. Oh, you do indeed.
Wait, no, I didn't mean to open that window. Sorry, instead of rolling damage, I opened Steam.
Logical. And 11. And this guy with no armor on, you can see him getting bloodied and beaten up. Which takes us to Imori, and you see the guy up in the special box up here hold up his hand and says, "Final round."
Well,
Recognizing that pretty much regardless of what happens, he is going to call it after this.
this guy tried to run away from me, so I'm going to follow him and swing at him.
Flanking attack, I'm right there.
Yes, indeed. And well hit.
Emoria, my friend, could you lend a hand?
The crowd busts up laughing at the joke and absolutely loves it as the guy goes down. Even the Procyonites are laughing at that one.
I'm gonna bend down and get a pen out and put right off on his face.
You do so, and the crowd is absolutely loving it. You are looking back up at that huge expanse of faces, and all of them are chanting, Kraken! Kraken! Kraken!
Oh, everybody fucking bow. We still have a dude up, but
There
you
it
know,
is, there's...
we've won.
Yep.
It's
And-
4-1 right now.
And as the crowd is chanting, Kraken, you see the guy that opened the ceremony come down, stand next to Sam. Very well done, he says to you, Sam. He turns to the Procyonite, pulls out a pistol, and executes him.
Surprised it didn't happen faster, honestly.
And he walks back to his stand. Team Kraken has won this first round and will be welcomed back for a more challenging second round against some of our military next time. And the crowd once again going wild. Kraken! 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 You hear a small subsection. Andy Man! Andy Man!
Yes.
And that is indeed where we will end it tonight. You will be invited back for round 2 at your leisure. Other missions will still be available. There is no time limit on when you want to come back. As you start walking off, the injured ones look up at you and say, "We are not going to do well."
Look, you just gotta believe in yourselves. We did, and we won with the power of friendship.
And this pointy stick.
Pointy sticks help. Also, I'm invoicing all of you for the bullets.
And as you come back, your escort officer returns from behind his closed door. I will now be returning you to your ship. Congratulations, and see you again. As you arrive at the jet point, your officer leaves, and you jump out of the system.
Okay, so I wasn't paying as much attention the first time we saw that guy, and you said 3 on his chest. I thought you meant like his whole chest was just the number 3, not just a little
giant
badge.
Superman ass.
Yeah, like bigger than that. Like screaming to the universe, I am level 3.
That would be hilarious. But no, I just did a just a little patch kind of.
And that's entirely reasonable and appropriate, but the way you described it, I was thinking like syndrome level S.
I see it. I did perhaps choose some poor words there.
No, amazing words.
Anyway, everybody, please roll a perception check.
Oh boy, what got hit while we were gone? Woohoo!
And Drix does well.
Okay, where on earth there it is?
Oh, screw that. I'm using my reroll.
The end of the night. End of the night.
Yeah,
You might
well,
as
you
well.
literally-
That was so much work. That was not as. We would hope for better, Sam. We would hope for better. No, it was better. Just
It's
not
alright.
great.
Imori is too busy kind of basking in his newfound glory But
I used my reroll as well. I got a 19.
oh, you did. Yes. That did not scroll down. Man, this system really is kind of. It must just be lagging
Maeve, I'm not
tonight.
seeing you in here, buddy.
What?
I'm not seeing your rolls, buddy.
Yeah.
We need to know if you're paying attention in game or not.
And indeed, everybody was. All right, so as you prepare to disembark the system, you start talking to each other, talking about some of the oddities of that waiting room that you were in and your curiosity of what was behind the door. The door that your escort had walked behind, you had noticed that multiple people entered, but despite it being potentially a very, very small space, nobody ever seemed to come back out.
Huh.
And so, you're welcome back for round 2. Your winnings for this round 1 are 2,500 credits.
I wish to use my cut to retain the services of a good lawyer and a good PR specialist, because the Legend of Team Kraken just started. And there will be merchandising.
All right, your cut of it is 625 credits, and so we will look for a marketing guru and lawyer that is willing to be retained for 625 credits.
You can
I'd
add
be willing to chip in for handyman as a bundle deal.
I want a handyman mini. I want a handyman action figure with switchable hands.
I love that one. Nice.
You got to collect all of the hands.
Exactly,
They're
limited
set.
edition.
They're
There's one.
They're in blind
There's a set of
packs.
hands in each action pack.
Oh, you're gonna loot
We'll make
box
a
it.
deal with the snack company. They'll put a different set of hands out in their chip bags.
So, all right, I will make note of that, and I will tell you how that will go down next time around. 3,200 experience amongst all of you is 800. Excuse me, 800, bringing everybody up to 5,030 XP.
50-30, got it.
50. 34. Here we go. All right.
What is it? 50 what?
5034 is the grand total.
Okay, guys. I have a toddler. I don't knowing at me, just some form of gibberish. So I gotta go.
All right. And everybody have a good night. Alex's game next week, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Not everybody.
Later.
Good night.
Yeah.